Oh, and
But we
look.
got Scotty Tuhati out there. We got Nowski. We got John Lucido. We got Otto Cruz, who had an interesting performance at the last time they were at Vegas.
Yes, he did.
We got Gitter. We got Edwards twice. Why are there two Edwards in the radio channel? Anyway, and Bernheimer. We got some guys that have some speed. And on TDR, everyone on TDR's got speed, but they got the McCanns. The McCanns are next level, right?
Oh yeah, way above. It's really a surprise to see the McCanns aren't even qualified on the front row. It looks like Kevin McCann is in ninth, and I did not see where and Brian McCann starting 12th as we look at the lineup here. So definitely a bit of a shocker there, but you never know what's going to happen in here at Vegas, and especially with this group.
Like I'm not cool enough to be invited to the McCann household for dinner, but I like to think that they qualify poorly so they can just race each other to the front of whatever they're racing.
It could very well be. We also noted you might have the answer on this one. There's an Anthony Hooker and an Ashton Hooker this week, so we've got
Yeah,
two members of that family.
yeah. Ashton Hooker is Anthony Hooker's son. Both of them had to miss Friday Night Lights, which is the TDR stock car race on Friday nights. Ironically, they missed it for Friday night high school football. So even though they missed Friday Night Lights, they still got to be involved with the Friday Night Lights, and they've made it home now. I don't know how the game turned out, and I can't wait to find out. But we got a father-son team within the team over at TDR.
Interesting. Interesting. There, I think this is Ashton's first race.
It's his first race in this series, and he's actually somewhat new to iRacing. He's been running with us. Obviously, his father's given him some lessons, and he's a very clean driver. He's not the fastest guy out there, but he's young and he's got a chance to learn, especially tonight.
Yep, we are at Vegas, 1.5 miles, progressive banking, 12 to 20 degrees around the corners. Gotta look at my notes. 9-degree front stretch, 3-degree back stretch, and this one's going to get interesting. 70% fuel load, 75 laps, and you see the mix of orange and green out there. This is it's about to get busy out there. Well, pace car is
That's
in.
why I do the cut. Sorry, I just noticed.
And green flag underway. They are down and away off to turn number one. What were you going to say, Tommy?
It's not even important now. The race is on, man.
That it is. And, there's a Jeremy Edwards in the field. That's why we have two Edwardses.
Yes, on the radio channel, I see two Edwards running the number 18. I assume it's a father-son or maybe a girlfriend-boyfriend situation.
Driver spotter, maybe?
That could be too. But they're all in the same radio channel, so I don't know that that's the case. I think I don't know. This is puzzling. We'll have to interview them under a yellow if we have one, and I'm willing to bet we're gonna have one somewhere around that Otto Cruz guy.
You know what? Up at the front, they're looking 3 wide. Mid-pack, they're looking 3 wide. Already some guys starting to get racy. Yeah. I think we're going to have a yellow before too terribly much longer. If I recall right, last race we had a caution in the first 10 laps. Then we had quite a few laps that were green, a long green flag run, green flag stops, and then right after green flag stops, we had a series of about 3 cautions in a row, culminating with the last lap crash.
Now, there have been a lot of races between, quote, Vegas 1 and Vegas 2. I see the front of the pack sorting out single file like Vegas should look. I see them going double file a little bit behind them, and I think we might just sort this out for some green flag runs.
We might. Timothy Pope out front, Patrick Gitter in second, Otto Cruz up there in third, and Austin Edwards is on the move in fourth. Back behind, several cars stacked up 2 wide, but the first 5 are, nope, we spoke too soon. Now here comes Austin Edwards. Fastest driver last lap, though. Becky will be happy. Scotty Tuhati has the fastest lap of the race so far.
You know, it's the broadcaster's curse. I talk about them sorting it out, going single file, running Vegas as you expect Vegas to be run, and then they stack it back up again, and they're 2 wide, 4 cars back.
Oh, yeah. Caution.
There it is.
And looks like Bryant DeYoung involved. Let's see if we can see what happened this time.
Let's hop in the DeLorean.
Well, let's rewind. Looks like the cameraman was asleep there for a moment.
I like naps too. I don't blame him.
No.
I do remember what I was going to say, but go ahead and call it the wreck.
Let's see, the 24 and the 7. Looks like the 7 bobbled out of turn 4
Ooh.
and just gets into the 24. Then the 2 car came, and as the 24 was drifting down, had nowhere to go. So about 4 cars impacted in that race. Expect to see a lot of guys at the back of the field to pit road this time.
Well, I know the number 2 car is Adam Rickey. He's a well-known TDR driver for practicing attrition. I guarantee he was hanging out in the back trying to avoid that incident, and he is hot as Hades right now.
Yeah, he is one. We've seen him come through just about every single thing, and like you said, he practices attrition. He never gives up, and because of that, he is always there at the end, and generally has a pretty good finish.
Yeah, he stays in the back. He grinds, and when it's time to move, he happy harvesting right to the front, and he's gonna go get his quick repair. I believe they have one for this series.
They do.
And he gets to try it all over again, huh?
That was not Adam Rickey though. Adam's in the 5 car, it looks like, tonight. So I'm trying to figure out.
Interesting.
Yeah, let's see.
Now, my notes on my radio will not match what they're actually racing in the series, because obviously these are last season's notes. I have one driver that doesn't even have a number written next to him.
Jeremy Gaiman, that's who was in that 2 car for TDR that just got caught up with nowhere to go. So,
well, I take back everything I said. It's completely irrelevant, which reminds me about what I was going to say earlier when I didn't have time to say it, was I don't have to take notes because I call color. I'm the color commentator. I don't need notes here.
Oh, you get the easy job and make me do all the work.
Absolutely. That's what we pay you for.
Well, awesome.
So, while we're under caution, we said we had to interview Jeremy Edwards, right? To find out what the other Edwards is?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to bring him into the booth. Get this out of the way real quick, because I am dying of curiosity. So we're going to bring Edwards in here. Hey, Jeremy, this is Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on me, buddy? No, you got your microphone self-muted. If you could unmute that, me and Doug would appreciate it.
There he goes.
Is it?
Why are there 2 of you on the radio? I have 2 Edwards in the radio channels, and we're dying of curiosity.
Well, he went back to mute.
Should we ask the other one?
That could get interesting. The other one could be Austin, but could be somebody completely else.
Hold on. Hey, Austin, this is Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on me? Edwards, 18. You got a read on me? Your mic is muted. If you could turn that on for me.
Looks like interviews are having technical difficulties and they're getting ready to go back to green. So I guess
we'll never know.
The mystery continues.
I guarantee it's those meddling kids.
It is. Looks like Timothy Pope is going to be still in the front row with Patrick Gitter, Otto Cruz and Austin Edwards on the second row, Zach Fritsch and Brian McCann on the third row, Justin Swafford, Eric Steele on the fourth row, Scotty Tuhati and Kevin McCann rounding out the top 10. Now you got both McCanns in the top 10. That could get interesting. You got it?
I think you spelled top 5 wrong, because that's where they will end up.
Over under on how many laps it takes the McCanns to be 1-2.
Ooh, give me the baseline.
I'm saying 5 more laps. Green flag in the air.
I'm taking 7 laps on it.
All right.
That's hot act.
All right.
And here they go.
Yep, Timothy Pope leads them down into turn 1. That front 3-4 cars get single file. Then it gets side by side all the way back. And right now it is Nowski Nation leading the top 5. I mean, the top 4 are all Nowski cars. cars.
You know, one thing that I've noticed about these TDR versus Nowski races, doing a whole season of it last quarter, TDR always splits into teams. Pudge and Nowski always remains as one group of drivers talking with each other, and I wonder how that helps and how that hurts each team.
It could definitely, we talked about it last season. Both ways could definitely be beneficial and harmful. The advantage that TDR has is that they have these spotters going from channel to channel, making sure communication is going across all the different groups. And that definitely plays out in making sure, especially at tracks like this or at super speedways, that communication is key. But, Pudge having everybody in a single group also beneficial because you don't have to have somebody running back and forth, but that's a lot of voices, 15 drivers.
Yeah, I was just going to say, when we run our Friday Night Lights series at TDR, which is Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern, the hour or two before, we'll do a happy hour where, everyone's in the Discord hanging out ahead of the race, and it is chaotic vocally. Sometimes we'll go into our own separate channels just to hear each other.
Oh my gosh, there's a big one on the front straightaway.
There it is.
Caution. And that looked like a mess. There it started with the 17, it looked like. Let's try it, and as they pile up off into turn number 2, let's see if we can see where this started at.
Yeah, I see at least 4 of those Tyler Daniels teal cars mixed up in there.
And it looks like it actually started just before. Looks like the 12 car just went bouncing off the wall. Looks like it got in to the corner wrong. Tried to save the car, and then just a ton of cars pile in behind. And we're going to see a lot more cars back on pit road this time with some pretty significant damage. And it looks like right now TDR having a rough night. So far, the names I'm seeing that have been involved, Bob Berlew, Ashton Hooker, Zach Fritsch, Charles Joplin, Chris Lockwood, Jeremy Edwards, Jason Ricker, and that looks like, so quite a few of those cars, and the vast majority of those names sound very TDR-ish.
Yep, those are a lot of TDR names, and that may be this race. They will go in and get the quick repairs, and hopefully they can battle back, but I feel like that's going to split the field heavily Pudjanowski up front.
Well, looking at the lineup up front, it's Timothy Pope, Patrick Gitter, Otto Cruz, Justin Swaffer, Austin Edwards, Scotty Too Hottie, Brian McCann, Pudge himself, Kevin McCann, and John Lucido. You still got the McCanns up there, but,
Well, Brian also got some new equipment.
Uh-oh, what did Brian get?
ESL.
Oh, so he's going to get even faster.
Well, he's hoping to get at least as fast as Kevin, because in the McCann versus McCann grudge match we held, we know who Mom's favorite is, and it's Kevin.
Well, I guess that's always an interesting fact to know.
Yep, Kevin's the best. Kevin's the McCann that McCann, and Brian's the McCann that McCann.
It's interesting. Kevin McCann does a lot of Microsoft Flight Simulator. I dropped in on one of his streams a week or so ago and told him, hey, dude, go get some DCS and I'll fly with you. And then I got to thinking about it. He'll probably be better at that, too.
Well, the nice thing about Kevin is if you know Kevin and he recognizes your name, because of course he's a celebrity, right? If he recognizes your name and you ask him to fly somewhere in flight sim, he will take you there.
Nice. I remember us talking about that a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, he is a celebrity. Ever since him and his brother were in that movie, they've just...
right. The Brothers McCann.
The Brothers McCann.
No, I once asked him, I was watching him stream, and I'm at a party with friends. I'm like, hey, well, come look at this guy. He'll do whatever I say. And I was like, let's go to Egypt. And he was flying around. He's like, it doesn't count if we don't see the Sphinx. And this is how good Brian is at sim things in general. We were at the Sphinx in like 2 minutes.
That's some quick flying.
It was impressive. Very.
The McCanns are currently running 7th and 9th, but we mentioned it in the pre-race. The chaos from at the end of the last race put Scotty 2 Hotty coming through the field and getting a top 5 finish, if I remember correctly, out of just keeping his foot to the floor, closing his eyes, and driving through the chaos. He's currently in 6th, so who knows what could happen here tonight, because Scott's fast anyway, but now he's up towards the front.
I certainly don't think the chaos we saw in the beginning was the last of it. I would expect a few more yellows here. It looks like they're not going to settle out and run Vegas like you would traditionally. These guys are going to duke it out lap after lap. Even teammates. I mean, Team Nowski running up front, they're getting racy with each other. Have they forgotten the whole team point aspect of this event?
Yeah, and it's worth mentioning, if you're new to the TDR versus Nowski Nation battle, each team gets 15 drivers. All 15 drivers are scored, and if one team is short a driver, then they only do 14 drivers. But that's how they do it. So it's not a matter of who wins the race. It's a matter of getting as many of your cars as far forward as possible. And right now, the top 6 is all the Nowski Nation.
And I wonder, again, the W for the individual driver doesn't matter. It's where your cars point. But at the end of, 3 laps to go, is the W going to matter to somebody? And if we have one of those incidents where a team takes out a bunch of their teammates and we get a flip like we saw, last year at Vegas.
Yeah. And we know that at least with some teams, we've seen the brothers McCann racing each other for the win. We've seen a couple of the Nowski Nation guys racing each other for the win. So there is no telling what could happen out there. I mean, we've seen Bernheimer going for it on the last lap against the teammates. So as they get ready to go green here again from Vegas, green flag back in the air. Barney the flag man telling them get going now.
There's 3 wide, 2 rows back.
They are. And hey, here's an interesting fact for you. Did you know that Barney the Flagman has his own Twitter account?
I do now.
And it is quite comical.
I'm banned on Twitter.
Oh, okay. Well,
you can't bully Kyle Busch. He won't take that.
That does make sense. That never mind. Remind me after the broadcast. Tell you a funny story.
I will.
And look at this. Kevin McCann is splitting the middle 3 wide. He just drove up in there and picking up 2 spots in a single lap. That is a very McCann thing to do. And he's got Brian McCann right there with him. So this is starting to get a little interesting up there, as you got the 2 McCann brothers now 9th and 10th. And we know once they get connected, they'll work their way to the front. But they have the entire Nowski Nation in front of them. But they've got Adam Rickey back there with them, and it looks like about 9th through, about 14th is all TDR. So they just need to get up there and break the Nowski Nation cars up.
I will say, and I don't want the McCann's heads getting any bigger because it's already hard for them to get through like standard-sized doorways. But regardless of which team you're on, watching Brian and Kevin individually working as a team, work their way through traffic, these are the kind of guys that, as if we have any novice racers out there, you and I, we're not great. These are guys you can learn so much from because it's simple little tricks and techniques they use to work their way towards that front.
Yeah, it really is, and they work really well together. Another really awesome thing, both of them are very consistent, and both of them, and they're as soon as I'm about to say they're both being patient, they're 3 wide again.
Right, but to them that is patient. It's not 4 wide. That they race within their skill, and they're basically aliens.
They really, really are. They are probably just checking, and they are 2 of the highest I-rated drivers in the field. However, you know what? The 2 drivers that are closest to them, Austin Edwards is in 8th. Adam Rickey is in 7th. So some of the higher I ratings up there, giving it all they got. Eric Steele also, he's up there, and he's in 13th. So there you have it.
Eric Steele, I love him to death, but he doesn't count. He has like a $10,000 sim rig. He builds awesome setups for Legends, and that's where his paved oval iRating comes from.
I got you. Adam Ricky just apparently had an off track. Let's take a quick look and see what happened. Looks like he was trying to get under Scott, and Scott got loose off the 07 car. What a save by Adam Ricky. Wow. Talk about skill.
The definition of attrition. Stay on him, don't lose it, stay on him. That was he had to have had 4 feet of air coming across that hump on the infield.
He really did. You know, looking at some of the biggest movers so far, Nowski started in 17th. He is up to 6th place. The biggest mover, though, John Lucido, who started in 30th, is 8th right now.
I don't want to lose a ton of the action. I feel that they've sorted it out. I think we're going to get a little bit of green flag here. Can we take it back to Ricky coming through the grass? Can you check with the camera people?
Let's see what we can do.
I would love to see that again. That was...
There is Adam on the bottom and gets the bump off Scott.
A little bit of neck go there, it looked like.
He was just...
Goodness gracious.
That car does not have that much suspension travel, so that...
Can I see it one more time?
Wait a minute, you know what? We could do this.
Oh no, I don't want to... No. I might have to get new pants after this.
Riding along with Adam Ricky. There's the bump from Scott, and jump on the ground. You see the wheel sawing away. Great
The
save.
talent there. The talent there, and his teammate let him in too. I think his teammate might have recognized that he needed back on the track and gave him a little bit of room there just to let him scooch on in front of him.
I have to agree there. It looked like he was given enough space. As you know what, I just realized this pack, the entire pack is I said it, the first 21 cars are under 2 seconds from each other. It is 2 seconds from first to 21st.
That's why I wanted to review that Ricky incident, because anytime we look away, the action happens. I mean, they're looking, what is it, single file 6 back, and then it's 2 wide all the way to the rear.
It really is, and they are not giving an inch. Every lap, positions are changing here as guys are moving forward, shuffling other guys back. And here's the interesting thing, 27 laps in, a lot of these guys have not been to pit road. A lot of the guys at the back, though, they have been to pit road. And, you know, guys out there like Kevin Bernheimer, Blair Patterson, PJ Cox, Jason Ricker, and Charles Joplin, all those guys, they came in on lap 13. They have 13 lap fresher tires than all the other drivers out there. And as the tires wear on, as the run goes on, those guys will start making their way through this mess. And Kevin Bernheimer, Blair Patterson, both of these guys are ones that will sit back there and be patient, although it looks like Blair has a bit of an issue. Yeah, I can see his air filter.
Well, maybe he unchecked the quick repair. Well, he wasn't involved in the first incident. I think he may have got a tap, but didn't actually pit for it, did he?
No. Well, he did pit, but I guess he didn't get it repaired, so that kind of explains what's going on with Blair. He is missing the hood, but those are guys that have no problem hanging out at the back and letting the field come to them. I've had Bernheimer do it to me personally, so I know. Oh, big wreck on the back straightaway.
Oh,
Scott dives out of the way again. How does he always do that at Vegas? All right.
it's Becky. When the big one happens, Becky just snatches that wheel and guides him through.
It's
I know
all
that's
Becky.
what happens. I know that's what happens.
All right, let's see if we can get a look. Looks like this incident might have started with... No, it did not start with Steve Hutchison like it looked like the system was telling us. Although Steve does go through the grass, helping out the lawn guy. All right, looks like Jeremy Edwards and Otto Cruz involved. Let's take it back a little.
What was that second name you said?
Otto something?
Auto something? Auto
Yeah.
cruise control?
Yeah, and it looks like it happens right up there. The 03 and the 28 get together. Right there at the front, the 17 gets collected. The 66 caught a piece of it. Several guys involved in this one. A lot of heavily damaged cars here.
And this is gonna shake things up. I saw a lot of teal splitting orange, but I also saw a lot of orange catching teal. I think this is gonna shake up how the points are set when the drivers come back out. And again, as you mentioned, a lot of guys in the back had the fresh tires, they had fuel. You know, they were in better shape pit strategy. But a lot of them might have already burned that fast repair, and they may now be relegated to the back.
Yeah, that is a problem. Trying to get a look. Auto Crew. It looks like the. Let's get a different camera angle. It looks like the. I believe it's a 78 up on the high side.
I see him.
He bounces off the. Oh, he gets a bump from Auto Cruz, and then I couldn't tell if that started with him coming down or Auto coming up, but the combination was. Looked like both of them just struggling there coming off turn 2 and issues and another big one. Vegas, not usually a place you think of having a big one, but there you have it.
I don't have a radio on the 78, but do you want to dial up Auto?
No. I have I have a rule. You unless you've talked to somebody beforehand, you don't bring them in for interviews after an incident.
You know, I don't know. I don't think we've ever had Auto Cruise in the booth.
I think we did once last season when he got a top 3 finish, but I think that was the only time.
I like to stir the pot. I like to live the broadcasting life on the edge, and I'm pretty sure you've coached me out of an Auto Cruise interview before.
All right, go for it and be it on your head. Pull him in.
Hey, Tommy, hey, Tommy, that's my name. Hey, Otto, this is Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on me? And before you get a read on me, keep in mind that this is a Tyler Daniels Racing League. We are PG-13, so please watch your language. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Tommy. How about you, brother?
Look, Doug told me not to bring you in here because you were going to cuss up a storm, and you sound like a very nice guy.
I'm doing good, man. I'm going to get back to the front.
You were definitely up, making your way forward pretty quickly, and it looked like you just got looked like a little bit of a bounce off the wall by the 78, and about the time you were moving, he was coming down, and everything happened. What was your perspective?
I don't know. I just felt myself go to the wall. I have to watch the replay before I can really comment on it, and I'm not mad at anybody. I'm just going to work my way back up to the front and get this Nowski Nation win tonight.
Awesome. Well, good luck, man. Hopefully you can get back up there. You definitely have a very fast race car here tonight.
All right. Thank you, Doug.
Hey, before you go, Otto, I'm having trouble tracking the numbers. Who's in the 78 tonight?
I don't know exactly.
It may be a custom number because I don't see one sim stamped.
It may be. I don't know which team he's on. I'm not even looking at him at this point. I just got to carve my way back up through here, get back up to my teammates that are up there dominating this thing, and let's go.
Amen, brother. Get back to it.
All right, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Best of luck to you. Absolutely. Now, why couldn't I interview him before last season? That's probably one of the most professional interviews I've ever done in my life.
I have to agree, and I'm making a note of that for future reference because I have never had good luck interviewing somebody immediately after a wreck, and that's when I developed the don't interview during a wreck rule.
You heard me stir the pot. I asked for the name and number.
Yeah, and he wouldn't.
He wouldn't give it to me. Right?
And you know he knows. He knows very well.
Oh, he knows.
He's made a note of it. Zach Fritch is stopped. Oh, wait a minute. I am not sure who just came by Zach Fritch. I'm trying to figure out who this car is. I think I might have... That is Chris Lockwood.
It's not the 78, it's the 28.
Well, it shows the 78 on the screen. It is the 28 of... Or the 84, excuse me, of Chris Lockwood. So
that's the guy that asks about cautions in the heat races all the time. Whose team's he on?
Now you make me go to the notes here. Chris Lockwood is TDR. All right, green flag
I'm now
back
deep,
in the
bud.
air.
Here we go.
And it is still a primarily Nowski Nation front, but now you've got Adam Rickey up there in the top 5, although he is stuck on the outside, and it looks like the Nowski Nation boys are just going to work together and get by him. He's got a little help coming, though. This could get very interesting here in a minute, as that is...
I see at least one McCann.
Yep.
Running their non-team paint schemes. Like, all they run is the Dale Earnhardt paint scheme. And that's Team McCann, and they happen to be on Team TDR. Like,
that's an interesting one.
It's gonna be a good shakeup up front.
And it does look like we've got a second TDR car. That's the 33 of Kevin McCann. He's in a TDR car tonight. And he is driving...
What?
Yeah. And he's driving through the Nowski Nation. In the last lap, he just picked up like 5 spots in a single lap. And now he is right behind the leaders. Looks like he is going to push Justin Swafford to the lead just so he can slip by on the bottom.
I'm gonna step out of my broadcaster role for a second and speak from the heart of TDR. We are so privileged to have Kevin McCann dressed up for our little event here.
You know what? He is also, here's an interesting fact. Scott had the fastest lap for a long time. Let me find his lap time here. Scott's lap time was a 30.22. A couple of guys have beat it. Andy Shaner got a 30.15. Jason Richter pulled a 30.09. Otto pulled a 30.06. So Otto had the fastest lap until one lap ago when Kevin McCann laid down the first sub-30 lap tonight, a 29.93, as he marched his way through the Nowski Nation to the front, and he is coming by Justin Swafford now for the lead.
I still can't get over that Adam Rickey save through the grass.
That is a replay we need to save for the foreseeable future. That could come in handy later on. He could sell stuff off that replay.
It was incredible. Someone just chimed in on the Facebook chat about it, and I'm like, you know, I wouldn't have done that.
No, I would have been backwards flying through the air. So, and Brian McCann also starting to march his way forward. But in addition, the Nowski Nation is starting to come forward. We've seen a couple of TDR cars work their way up into the top 10. But here comes the rest of the Nowski Nation. And Austin Edwards, as I mentioned, Austin Edwards, just a force to be reckoned with anywhere he goes, any car he gets in. And here he is back in the Cup car, making his way toward the front and making a move on Adam Rickey.
Yeah, the nice thing about coming into season 2 is you've learned a lot of TDR names. I've learned a lot of Puchnowski names, and it's like being able to see these guys where they should be running. You know, who's made the good moves. It's to recognize it, not just call it.
Yeah, it really it makes a difference. The more time you broadcast a group, you learn a little bit about them, and it really helps, especially when you talk to some of these guys and get to know them, or they're streamers. I mean, everybody watches Puchnowski, but not everybody watches Kevin McCann. So you get to go watch them and listen to some of these guys talk. I go look at the TDR stuff about once a week. I look at the Nowski Nation stuff about once a week. I look for names that are familiar. Oh my goodness, Justin Swafford had a problem off turn 4 and barely held on to it. Great save though. He kept it out of the side of Kevin McCann's car.
Yeah.
I guarantee you Kevin didn't even sweat it. He saw him coming and was like, I'll be fine.
I'm looking at the names, and the top 10's looking about 50% TDR right now, 50% Puchnowski. Again, not even halfway through this thing. Anybody's race.
Oh, yeah. Brian now up into third, and this is what we were talking about prior to that last caution. We said, what has to happen for the TDR, Team TDR? They have got to split up the Nowski Nation. The McCanns have come and split up part of the Nowski Nation. You got several more guys coming forward. You got Eric Steele coming forward, Austin Edwards, Adam Rickey coming forward to split up the team. There's actually a distinct lead group now, 9 cars in it, excuse me. and then a second group led by Dean Webb as the green flag run continues.
You know, I want to say something about Otto Cruz. I really want to say, like, he used his signature move too early. But after that first interview after the incident, I can't say a bad thing about Otto Cruz. That was honestly the most professional interview after an incident I've ever had.
You know, and I'm going to watch him closely. He restarted back in around 20th. I didn't get his exact restart position, but he was around 20th on the restart. He's now up to 12th. He said he was coming to the front. We had to say something about him, didn't we?
Absolutely. You and I both know as broadcasters, we can't take sides. That's not our job. In this series, it's a little different. We lean one way or the other. But tonight, I became an Otto Cruz fan.
Yeah, unfortunate to see. It looked like he grabbed the wall out of 4 as he was trying to make a pass on the high side, and he is now back to 21st again. But you know what? He'd already picked up a bunch of spots. He'll get that damage repaired on the next stop, and doesn't look like he had a ton of damage on the... No, he does not have a lot of damage to that car. Looks a little scraped up, but look at that. He's already starting to make his way forward again. So great job by Otto Cruz. And like I said, I've had that policy of not interviewing people after a wreck. Shout out to him. That was a really, really professional way of handling it. And his attitude, too, we've seen that with both groups late in the season, last season. As these guys get to know each other, there's so much respect and sportsmanship between both teams, and it just obviously is continuing to get better.
Yeah, absolutely. I think these guys aren't professional race car drivers by any means, except for the McCanns.
Yeah.
But how they handle themselves, being on air, being broadcast by you and I, and how they handle the interviews, it's a respect thing between the two teams. That's how they drive on the track. But just the level of professionalism they've brought to the booth, talking about the races, they want to be more informative to the viewers out there. They want to give our questions more honest answers than not taking it as seriously as we did season 1, race 1. And I think there's some development going on there professionally outside of just the racing skill.
Definitely so. And right now, the lead cars are about to come into lap traffic. Trying to see who that was that they were approaching. But there's a car directly in front of the leaders that has significant damage on the front of it that could come into play when the leaders get to it. Can't tell. It's the 2 car up on the high side. That is Jeremy Gaiman. He obviously was involved in that first incident. Apparently got caught in the second incident. And no more fast repairs, but you got to say he is sticking it out for the moment. But, oh my goodness, it is getting a little bit tight back there as they try and get around him on the bottom. They were 3 wide with him up in the wall.
3 wide, 3 back. They just drew an arrow on the racetrack.
They really, really did. That was crazy. Great job by him staying up high and keeping out of trouble. But, you come up on a lap car like that is slower, it's got heavy damage, and you're already racing, things get really, really tricky.
Oh, absolutely. And real quick, I'm only monitoring the Facebook side of things because that's our primary marketing model, but how many viewers do we have over on the Twitch and the YouTube?
My number, we've got at least 5 on Twitch. It looks like about 10 on Facebook, and I can't tell on YouTube at the moment.
Awesome. So we got about 15 watching right now, Mitch.
Yep.
Who is Dirk Diggler? He just said, "Hi, Doug. You know this guy?"
Oh my gosh, that is Nick the Mullet Frank, and I have to tell you a funny story while we have this little minute here.
Absolutely.
Last night I broadcast a race for his league, and they're called the Fun League, and they're friendly unwind nights, so fun. They were doing they've been testing the new feature where you can have AI on track with human drivers. So oh yes, and it is so much fun to watch. But Nick Frank actually went in and changed the name of the AI drivers, and I didn't catch it till I had said about 3 or 4 of them.
Did you have a Mike Hunt in there?
Yes, and we also had a Jenna Tools.
Oh, That's a new one for me. See, well, I don't even know if I shouldn't say it.
No, trust me, none of the names should have ever been read.
So you know how I'm supposed to remind you to tell me a story after the broadcast?
Yep.
Remind me to tell you my go-to prank call name.
Okay.
It's terrible.
Oh.
Not. It's not live ready.
While we've been joking around, Kevin McCann has started to pull away. Swafford in second, Timothy Pope back in third, and then there's this mess back here. It's got Patrick Gitter, Brian McCann, Pujanowski, and Austin Edwards in it. And they have kind of fallen into this little group. They're swapping positions just about every corner, it seems like. Brian McCann trying to get clear of this.
It looks like Brian's stuck in a Pujanowski cage. Do you see how the 07's riding his door, and the other two cars seem to like pull up in front of him and behind him?
Yeah, they're gonna keep him pinned against the wall if they can, and they're gonna have a little help as right in front of them. They've got, I believe that's Swafford and Pope right in front of them, so they could really box him in. But they just look at this. They were coming down the front straightaway. They were literally bump drafting. Not something you see very often in Vegas. We'll have to watch them as they go the back straightaway. See if they do the single file bump draft again. As the run has gone on, Brian McCann continues marching toward his brother very quickly. Kevin McCann still 2.3 seconds ahead of him, but nope, I'm sorry, 1.8 seconds ahead of him. And as Brian comes around.
It must be that new CSLDD.
It must be. If it's not working out for him, he can always send it to me.
Right. Well, me first. I wanna test it. Make sure it's not poisoned.
I can do that.
It to you. No. I'm gonna test it. I'm gonna test it first. Make sure it's not a poison set.
And you guys might get to hear an on-air fight in a minute.
Yep.
Another.
Yep. How do you throw a punch to the microphone? Because it's mine.
I'll let you know when you get hit.
That is broadcasting gold right there, Doug. Thank you for that.
Kevin Bernheimer's another one that has come through the field quite well. He started in 20th. He is up to 9th right now. Bob Burlew started in 25th, up to 10th. John Lucido, another one having a great run, started in 30th and up to 16th right now. So, got some guys really starting to make. This is a track that you can really benefit on letting yourself lose a few spots early in a run, and then coming on in the last part of the run as the tires wear. And with a 70% fuel load, I didn't get information on how many laps. I know they'll have to stop one more time for fuel, but it's not going to be a ton of fuel that they need. So making it work, being able to take right side tires, saving your stuff at Vegas is extremely important, and a lot of these guys seem to be doing that and making their way forward.
Yeah, if I remember correctly from the driver's meeting, it's
75
lap, 75%, and
Eric Steele bounced off the wall out of turn 4, came down on Kevin Bernheimer. We're still under green. Bernheimer's still going, but he has lost all his momentum and looks like he's got some damage to the right front. See if we can get a closer look. He's got... Well, let's see.
Now, was he sharing notes with Adam Rickey before the race? Because that was a heck of a save through the grass.
It really was. These guys, obviously, TDR and Nowski brought their best drivers out tonight because we've seen some just epic saves all over the track. And you got to give Bernheimer a shout out. He did not lose he lost one position in that exchange. And he's got some minimal damage to the right front, but if he can keep that car going the right way, they're getting dicey with 15 to go.
Well, I mean, 15 to go, that's only 5 steps away from 3 to go.
Yes, it is. Starting to see some green flag pit stops. Chris Lockwood down pit road. Jeremy Edwards down pit road. Chris Lockwood already coming back up off. We should see him on track here in a minute. Makes you wonder, can a guy like Kevin McCann, can he go the distance from here?
Nope.
Caution!
Oh.
It's Bernheimer.
Ooh.
That makes it. Bernheimer got turned.
That makes a big difference into everything we were just saying about cautions and pit strategy.
Pit strategy no longer a question here. Let's get a little bit better look at this. The
Yeah,
79 on the bottom.
Looks like
he
you
thought
got
he
a
was
little bit of
clear.
air. You got a little bit of air off of Burlew there, maybe touched, and then came back down and collected Bernheimer. And what a mess!
Yeah, it looked
What
like
a mess.
he thought he was clear, tried to save the car down low, and just caught it. Bernheimer all the way around, a hard hit, but he has not been involved in any incidents yet to my knowledge, so he should be able to recover, although he might be done.
Well, we just got another shout out over on the Facebook feed for Auto Cruz. Do we want to interview Auto Cruz about that incident too? Because I want to talk to him.
Let's leave poor Otto alone. We'll have to try and get a word with him after the race. Speaking of Otto, let's see, where is he running right now? He is staying out. So he's gonna take the lead here. He is staying out for track position. Obviously in a position where fuel not a concern with the pace laps, but he is going to be on very old tires.
He was in that early incident. It's 75% at 75 laps. He might be good to go. We might have to talk to Auto Cruz about a W.
It could very well be. Kevin McCann is the first car off of pit road. Kevin McCann took 2 tires. Brian McCann comes off in third with 4 tires. Looking through here, everybody 4th through 12th place, Scott Snodgrass, has 4 tires. And, all right, very interesting, because it looks like Auto Cruz staying out. Kevin McCann took right sides only. Everybody else on track taking 4 tires.
Oh. What can you even say about that?
I can say Auto Cruz is probably the loneliest man in the world. No, it looks like he is going to go ahead and come down pit road.
Oh, that's a shame. I was really hoping he could stretch that tank out. Like I said, I've become an Auto Cruz fan this race.
I have to agree. That was great of him, and I know he got a lot of grief last season for things that happened in the Vegas race and one other race, but he's proven what a gentleman he is despite all of that. Looks like a big group of cars are going to get waved around here. Looking to see, Kevin Bernheimer is out of the event.
The front of that pack has changed colors.
Well, you got Kevin McCann and Brian McCann at the front. Those 3 cars directly in front of them are going to be wave around cars. 2 of them missing the front clip. So even the wave around not going to be a huge help, but it will have some benefit to it, at least putting them in position with if any more Nowski drivers come out. That definitely helps TDR points wise.
Well, again, I'm the color commentator. I don't pay attention to all this race control crap. I literally comment on the color.
And it was green.
It was at the time I was seeing it. It's still green. As far as the color commentator is concerned, the green cars are winning, with the yellow one helping.
And of course, the yellow one, as you mentioned, Dale Earnhardt paint scheme, similar to the old Wrangler paint scheme, and it is a McCann.
We should put that on Adam Ricky's car for that pass in the grass.
Oh, you know what? That would be really good.
Well, I get it was a pass, but good lord, the jumps. He went over literal ramps. He caught sweet air. And then merged back into traffic.
He decided he wanted to do some rally racing tonight, and since it wasn't on the schedule, he just worked it in.
Hey, when you're that good and you're that busy, sometimes you just got to get it where you can get it.
That's true. All right, they're going to line up with the brothers McCann on the front row, Timothy Page and Patrick Gitter on the second row, Pudge Nowski and Austin Edwards on the third row, Justin Swaffer, Dean Webb on the fourth row, Charles Joplin, Blair Patterson, who we haven't talked about much, but Blair up into the top 10 now, and Scotty Too Hottie 11th, Anthony Hooker 12th, John Lucido 13th, David Trumbley 14th, and Zach Fritsch 15th.
This is going to be something else.
It definitely is. We're going to go green with just under 10 laps to go. It's going to be a shootout from front to back. Let's also check, because he was the last one to come to pit road. Otto Cruz currently scored in 25th, and it looks like he's actually being scored a lap down. So Otto Cruz, unfortunately, out of contention.
Nah, he'll make it to the front. I believe in him.
It would be a true underdog story if a caution came out, he got his lap back, and came back to win this, as green is in the air and the McCanns are away. And you see this right here with these two Nowski cars. They were literally pushing each other down the front straightaway. Looks like that was Austin Edwards and Patrick Gitter.
Say glitter?
No, Gitter. Gitter done.
Glitter.
Oh, it is? Is it? No, it is Gitter. I was right. Don't confuse me.
I was just saying glitter because of all the glitter bombs punching him.
Yes, I've heard a little bit about that. 8 laps to go. The brothers McCann are under attack. Timothy Pope, who has led the most laps tonight, is up to second and going for the lead here.
And he's one of the newer names to this series. I think he may have been in one race last year, but I don't recall him very well.
I'm going to have to look it up. We didn't get the list until later this afternoon, but I believe I have broadcast Timothy Pope before, and he's obviously a very fast driver. You know who just laid down the fastest lap of the race so far?
Otto Cruz.
No. I know, that would be an awesome story. Blair Patterson, who is marching through this field right now, and just laid down even faster than, a tenth of a second faster than Kevin McCann's lap. He just ran a 29.83.
You know, it's funny you mentioned Blair. Like, obviously, Team Pujanowski centers around Pujanowski, the streamer. Blair Patterson's a streamer with a big following behind him. A bunch of guys out there watching his stream right now that aren't watching ours. That should be. I hope you can hear us in there.
Hey, you know what we should do? As part of one of the challenges, we should make the streamers not stream and just tell their people to come watch us for one race.
Oh, right? What?
They're going 4 wide on the front straightaway.
Oh my goodness!
What in the? And they're not giving up. Everybody's going for it. They were 4 wide.
Could they hear us?
I think so. They were 4 wide, 3 wide, 2 wide, 3 wide again. This group right here is, as the McCanns are starting to fade a little bit, they're 5th and 6th right now. Timothy Pope out front with the Nowski Nation. Look, Pudge is now in 3rd. Austin Edwards in 4th, and then you get to the McCanns.
Goodness gracious. This is not going how anybody expected.
Not at all, but you got to give a shout out to Timothy Pope. Comes out here tonight and leads the most laps. Coming down to 3 to go, he is in position to take his first win in the TDR versus Nowski series. So shout out to him. But the question now becomes, they get 3 to go. The boss is right behind him in 3rd place. Team orders?
3 to go? There are no teams.
Well, you know,
just how I roll.
Yeah, that's right. You have to wonder if Nowski's sitting there. Hey, you guys let me by. Guys, let me by. Let me by, guys.
No. I know Matthew well. He wants to fight for it. He doesn't want anything handed to him.
No, he definitely does not.
Blair? A pair of aliens with Johnny pedals. We literally made him cry. Anyway.
Blair Patterson now up to 6th. We talked about his fastest lap a minute ago. He is flying his way to the front with 2 laps to go. Doesn't have enough time to get to the lead, but he's another TDR coming towards the front. So while the Nowski Nation has the top 4, Kevin McCann, Blair Patterson, and Brian McCann are definitely here to represent as the white flag comes out for Timothy Pope.
Now, points-wise, I think Pujanowski owns the top 10. We'll have to count the shakeout from 10 back, unless something happens these last couple laps. Heck of a race these guys have put on.
Oh my gosh!
And
You had to say something. Dean Webb just had an incident. Obviously, white flag lap, no caution, and Timothy Pope's got the run off 4, and it's going to be, and there is a big one in at the
1,
back
2,
of the,
3, 4, Pudzianowski.
Yes, it is.
5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7 TDR. I think it mixes their back.
Yep, Swafford and Snodgrass 8th and 9th, Charles Joplin in 10th. So only 3 TDR cars, it looks like, in the top 10. Let's see what happened on that last lap real quick. I know Dean Webb was involved on the front straightaway just as they crossed the start-finish line. Looks like he just got pushed sideways. Not sure what was going on there. And then, unfortunately, Ashton Hooker comes along and catches the side of Dean Webb.
Yeah, Ashton being inexperienced, I think he just hadn't practiced wreck avoidance, saw a car, tried the turn, didn't touch the brakes, and just kind of piled up into him.
And look at this showing as the Nowski Nation, all there
Lord.
at the front. They're showing off.
Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Let's wait for all of them to get there. We gotta watch them burn it down.
Look at the 92 drift in there. That was Justin Swafford. Did you see the drift into the shot?
I did. It was pretty.
Oh my goodness. Swafford, you put on a show there at the end, buddy. And now here comes the Nowski Nation. Scotty Too Hotty pulling in. Charles Joplin's there. And like I said, 7 of the top 10. Last week, TDR, or 2 weeks ago, I should say, TDR. TDR's coming in.
TDR. Now, real quick, the race is over. To you Pudzianowski guys that are watching this after you've been in the event, how much cooler would that burnout look if you were all wearing the same paint?
Well, they did have their team, the majority of them, but they did have 2 distinct paints for the Nowski Nation tonight. So,
well, I noticed some blue cars. I noticed some red and white cars on Team Pudge. There was a yellow one.
yeah, Scott.
And a couple of guys that need to get on board with the whole paint scheme thing. TDR, now the McCanns are excluded.
Yeah, of course.
They do whatever they want.
And you're going to let them, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. As long as they want to be on. Yeah. Whatever you want, guys.
Now,
but
you have to...
Pudge guys, you got to get on board with the same team paint.
You have to ask this question. Last season, and I'm going to say probably this season, you know who painted a lot of the Pudzianowski cars?
Chan Pottle.
Nope. I'll give you a hint.
Good.
He was not running a Pudzianowski paint scheme tonight. Scotty Too Hotty.
I hope you were going to say Auto Cruz just because I want a reason to bring him back in the booth that is polite, but...
Well, I guess we should start talking to some drivers here. He's thinking we can dial up Timothy Pope.
Who won the race? Was that Timothy Pope?
Yeah, that was Timothy Pope.
You want to talk to Auto Cruz about it? I'm just kidding. Sorry, I made myself laugh too hard. All right, I'm going to get Pope dialed up. Hey, Pope, this is Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on us up here, buddy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, congratulations, man. You got to run a race with Auto Cruz.
Thank you.
I'm just kidding, man. Congratulations on the win. How was it out there? How was the teamwork behind you? I know we've said your name before. Is this your first TDR versus Pudzianowski race, or we said your name in a different event?
Yeah, this is my first race with him.
And you won.
Yeah, I was glad I could show out pretty well for him.
On behalf of Team TDR, we respectively request you don't show up again.
Just ignore him, Timothy. I have to ask. There at the end, I was making the joke, and we know Pudzianowski would not be giving team orders there. But once you guys kind of had that 3-4 car breakaway the last 10 laps, and you guys got single file, was there talk on the radio of just staying how you were, keeping everybody in line, and making sure you continued to pull away?
Yeah, they all agreed just to stay in line there and finish how we were. Work it together as a team.
That is awesome teamwork. You guys did one heck of a job on the teamwork aspect of it, and you did have the dominant drive tonight. You led early, you led a lot, and probably led. I do believe you led the most laps tonight. So, congratulations. That was one heck of a dominant performance.
Yeah, thank you. That clean air is everything here.
It definitely is. Tommy, you got anything else?
Yeah, I'm interested. Your first event with TDR versus Puds. Have you ever done a team event where it's 15 cars versus 15 cars, and it's not necessarily about the win, but how well your whole team performs?
No, I never done a team event before.
Well, that answers that question. How do you feel about it? How was the teamwork? Did you enjoy this more than traditional oval racing?
Yeah, teamwork was wonderful with everybody on Nowski Motorsports.
Awesome, awesome. Glad to hear it, man. Well, congratulations on the W. I'm going to throw you back in the booth, and we're going to go ahead and talk to one of the losers.
All right, catch y'all later.
Take care, Tobe. Appreciate it. Well, who you want me to bring in from Team TDR, Doug? We got a whole bunch of radios on here. Well, not as many as we started with, but there's some guys that... Let's talk to Blair Patterson.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say we should pull Kevin McCann in and ask him what happened. But, yeah, let's talk to Blair. I haven't talked to Blair in a while.
And as I say that...
He disappeared.
He disappeared. Within 5 seconds of me saying it. We broadcast cursed ourselves.
Obviously. So, can we get a hold of Kevin McCann?
I don't have a radio on a McCann. Best I can do is a Ricky.
That'll work.
You want to talk to Ricky about that?
Yes.
That thing?
Absolutely.
Hold on. I'm trying to get him pulled in here. Oh, come on, radio. These knobs are so tricky. Oh, there we go. Hey, Adam, this is Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on me, buddy?
Hey, what's going on?
How about whatever happened in the grass when you went off of 2 sweet jumps?
Yeah, it was a little fun. I went back and looked at it, and it was really netcode from my end of the deal. And when it happened, I just kept the wheels straight and in the throttle. And fortunately, Kevin gave me a break when I came back into the tri-oval. Otherwise, it would have been pretty big.
Adam, yeah. I have to say, you're saying that, and you're being very humble about it. But let's be honest, we figured it out. You were bored, and you wanted to do some rally driving.
Actually, this was actually a pretty fun race. And if anybody knows me, knows I hate tracks over a mile. And so it was pretty good. It was racy. A lot of different things going on. Early on, we had the tire strategy happening. That's why we were digging up on the inside. And then we had that, the net code with Scotty. And then after that, my night was a little shot.
Yeah, we kind of read it the same way. The net code was obvious. Honestly, the thing going through the grass with the 2 jumps, if it was 1 jump and you held it straight, it'd be like, okay, yeah, he made it. But it was 1 jump and then another jump. I mean, really good job keeping it through the grass, keeping it straight, going over those bumps. Like, man, that looked really impressive. I don't know how easy it was for you, but it looked phenomenal on TV.
Well, I'm glad it was good for everybody watching.
It was.
I noticed Mitch made a comment about a nice save, just as it happened. But, it all happened in a matter of, 2 seconds. So, by the time you realize you're turning, you just kind of cut the wheel to where you want it and decide what you're going to do with the throttle or brake. And I don't know what the brake's for.
Yeah, I made a call down to the AV room, and we rewound that 5 times to watch it again and again. It was great. Well, we're pretty sure Pujanowski pulled off the win, but always appreciate you guys coming out and being some of the fast guys for the TDR namesake. We're going to see you in the next event, I presume?
I have no idea. I have very poor showings in these events usually, so I don't know how long Andy's going to keep putting me in these.
If you keep putting on a great show for the sponsors, I'm sure he'll keep you around.
Right.
Well, I think he wants the points. I think that's the goal of this, and I'm not usually getting him too many when I'm finishing sub 20 positions.
Yeah, a 21st position tonight definitely does not speak to the level of driving and how you came through the field and that miraculous save. So, congratulations regardless. Obviously, you drove a heck of a lot better than your finish.
Thanks. I guess the old saying, if you can't win the show, be the show.
That is definitely true in this case. Good talking to you, Adam. Hope to see you next time we come out to do this. Have a good evening.
Yeah, thanks for doing this, guys.
Absolutely. All right.
Should
Oops,
we
I put him-
get? Should we get?
I put him in the Pudge radio. Hold on.
Should we get both fearless leaders in here to break the news to Andy and let Matt gloat a little bit?
Well, I can get Matt dialed up pretty quick because he keeps his radio pretty on, and I can get Andy dialed up as well. But he has a secret password on his radio, so it takes a second to get Andy dialed up. So I've got Andy and Matthew Hughes up in the booth. Pudge Nowski, Team TDR himself. How you guys doing?
Oh, we're good. We're fine.
Andy sounds like I would expect him to. I'm waiting for Matt to come on like, yeah, boy, dude wipes.
No, we're good. We're good. I was just doing math.
Well, and the math is interesting. So Pujanowski pretty much reigned the top 10 on this one. How'd the backfield look? Are you done with the math yet? Do we have a number we can say
I'm
live?
re-adding because something's not coming out right. So I'm trying to figure out. Yeah.
Well, while you figure
they
that
did
out,
beat us. Pudge wins by 51 points.
ouch.
That actually leaves TDR in the lead barely.
Yeah, by about 40.
Ouch.
Mhm.
That hurts.
Yeah, it was a rough race. I mean,
It was. Unless you were Adam Ricky. He had a blast.
yeah, it was. I kind of got tired of being in the back, moving up towards top 10, being in the back, moving up towards top 10, being in the back, moving up towards, got tired of that.
How'd the teamwork feel tonight? Did Team DDR just not have the communication, or was it just a luck thing being at Vegas?
I think it was a luck thing with the incidents because, at least from what I could see, I think as far as the incidents go, I think they were non-teammate incidents that started it. Yeah, for the most part, if I was around a guy and he knew I was faster, he let me go. I think we kind of had that where we weren't going to race a teammate. I think that really worked tonight. It's just bad luck. I think we just had bad luck tonight, honestly. Like, you look at it, I don't know. I got to go back and look at some replays too and figure out exactly what happened on some of these incidents. But this is bad luck.
Well, I know there was definitely some net code out there. So Adam Ricky took a very visually pleasing ride through the grass, but it was net code that put him there. Did you see a lot of that out there? I saw 2 or 3 incidents where it looked like a net code could have been a factor in the event.
I mean, it very well could be. I don't know how much it was. I didn't see the netcode per se. I did see, the Ricky passing the grass.
Did you wave? Did you clap or wave? Because
I was just waiting for him to take out the field, and he did not. So that was good.
Hey, guess what? Because I just saw Pudge unmuted himself, but guess what I just found real quick for you there, Tommy?
Oh, what?
Watch the screen. If it'll work.
I'm watching.
It looked like it might have glitched. I actually...
Oh, boy.
There it is. Yes.
I'm trying to get it to pull up.
Matt, are you as scared as I am? Because I can't see the screen.
From that view, it's not as impressive. It was this camera right here.
Yeah, let's see if we can back it up just a hair here.
Oh, what are y'all showing?
Adam Ricky had a moment in the grass.
Oh, that was
Dale Earnhardt.
a lot of net code.
I was behind that. I seen that. That was crazy.
He gets net coded into the infield, and he goes over one jump, and it's like, oops, a little bump, and he goes over the next one. It's like the Dukes of Hazzard. Like, tune in next week to make sure Adam's okay. And
So between the netcode and the dogs, because at one point, I was starting in the back, running towards top 10. Starting in the back, running towards top 10. At one point, I got up to P11. I'm running John Lacido. He's running my door, giving me, not an ounce of room. If I make a mistake, we're going for a ride. And my dog starts licking my foot.
Been there.
And I'm like, I'm going to wreck John because of the dog.
I have my youngest daughter, whose birthday is today, actually. My youngest daughter has a 12-pound miniature Dachshund that when I put my wheel stand in place, he will either lay under the back of my feet or on occasion he'll sit on my feet while I'm driving. I've been there.
Yeah, I mean, it was. So I had to back out of it. I don't know I backed out of it, got on the apron, yanked the dog out from under the desk, and got back to racing. But yeah, it was either that or I was going to end up wrecking Lucido because there wasn't an inch of room. So,
Ladies and gentlemen, I hate to interrupt you. We've already talked to the race winner. Let's talk to the team winner, Mr. Pujanowski himself, Matthew S. Hughes. How do you feel about what you've done versus what TDR did in the last race?
Man, I feel way better. First off, how about that race? That was a dang good race right there.
It was.
For everybody, that was, man. That was intense. I was on edge the whole time.
How about your run? You started in 17th and finished in 3rd.
I sure did, man. I don't know how I did it, but I know we all worked there as a team there at the beginning and took that high side, and we started making things happen. And then the McCann boys, like they always do, they came up there, started making noise, and man, it was just a great race. And I'm proud of my guys for battling hard. And looks like we took all 4 tires there. I don't know if McCann's took 2 tires or not, but
one took 2, one took 4.
Oh man, dude. Well, that seemed to be it. I'm glad we came back out and, we had a great race. I don't know if we could have took another 2 races in a row where we just had a terrible outing like we did last week, but I'm just proud of my guys, man. I couldn't be more thankful. And I love this league, though, man. I just love this league. It's so awesome.
It is. I think. Go ahead, Doug.
I was going to say, I have to ask a question here. Last time we were at Vegas, there was a big crash on the white flag lap, and half your team drives through it unscathed, led by Scott, and gets it, and that is what turned your season around last time. This time, 7 of the top 10 are your team. So, can we expect a schedule change for the rest of the races to be at Vegas?
Well, we know who gets the luck at Vegas and who doesn't.
That's right. That's right. I need to go out there and play some casino, man, because your boy needs to make some money.
hey, knowing the number that Mr. Pujanowski runs and knowing the number that Andy Shaner runs, let's roll a 7-sided dice about it.
Man, I think if me and Andy went to a casino together, we'd come out rich.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Just the way we are.
We've been hitting 7s all day, baby.
You need 3 7s to make it happen.
That's right.
Well, after he loses this season, he's going to change to 70.
Oh!
Is this
shots
the
fired.
number season?
No, you see, I already gave you the 7. I took the 07 tonight.
I see a lot of 17s out here tonight. I don't know.
Yeah, I did. I noticed that too. Yeah.
We had 2 18s.
Yeah, there was definitely some weird numbering thing. There was a couple of drivers that the car number did not match their real number, and we were trying to figure out when incidents came up. But yeah, there was a few 17s in the field.
There sure was.
And real quick, while I have the 2, quote, team owners here, as color commentary, you guys need to get your teammates on board with putting the right colors on the car because that's the only thing I know how to call.
I do have to.
I want to see every Pujanowski car orange, and I want to see every TDR car TDR teal.
You got to talk to McCanns. McCanns do their thing,
No, they don't count. The McCanns can do whatever they want as long as they show up for Team TDR.
You just know who's driving that Wrangler car. It's always Brian.
Kevin was running a TDR paint scheme, so we just got to get Brian on board.
Hey!
Yes, Kevin was. He had the.
We converted one McCann to TDR.
I don't think we're ever getting that Wrangler off.
The weird thing about it, though, is I know last season...
I'll give him $20.
Last season, a lot of the Nowski Nation cars were painted by Scotty Too Hottie. But he is not driving a Nowski Nation car.
Yeah, I noticed. Well, I think it is, but it's like his own I think it says Pujanowski on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it has the logo on there.
It does have the logo, but it's still his green fishing car that he painted last year.
Yeah, he loves his green.
Yeah, he loves that car, and that was one of his first paints that he did with that reflective, and he has stuck with it. It's beautiful. He did a couple of them for me that are like that, and they're beautiful. But
I mean, if he likes green, we got a team for him.
I don't think every time they come to Vegas, Scott's the lucky one. I don't think Pudge is going to give him up.
Yeah, I think unless Pudge sneaks it in on me, we won't be seeing Vegas in season 3.
Matter of fact, every race will be there for us, but just different cars every time.
Well, Vegas has a Legends Oval, right?
Yes.
Why don't we do a Legends race at Vegas?
How about no?
Perfect answer.
Man.
Well, hey, Pudge, congratulations on the team win. Andy, obviously you guys in TDR have some work to do. I'm going to wrap up here with Doug, see if he wants to talk to anybody else. Before we go, anybody want to give any shout-outs to anybody? Because this is an open forum for that kind of thing.
I mean, I got shout-outs to both teams. Great race tonight. Great race 2 weeks ago. And then, what the two teams did and banded together for Pudge, getting them pedals. I think that was awesome. By the way, big shout out to Otto, because that was his thing that he put together. Just kind of brought me into it, and I did what I could. And that's it.
I agree, and also big shout out to Otto. He had the best post-incident live race interview I've ever had in my life. He was so cool, calm, collected. I'm an Auto Cruise fan now. I'm a TDR guy at heart, but I'm an Auto Cruise fan. It was incredible.
That's awesome.
What you got, Pudge? Who you got a shout out tonight?
I want to give a shout out first off to my team, our community, Nowski Nation, Nowski Motorsports, just for their hard work day in and day out. They're always practicing every week, every day just about. There's always a practice session up that they're in, helping each other out. And I'm going to give shout out to BACC Charities, as always, and Tyler Daniels Racing for just letting us be a part of what they do, and they're being a part of us. And just all of us working together. I mean, we're rivals on the track, but outside the track, we're just all brothers trying to chase the dream together. And I'm just so thankful for it. I'm going to give a shout out to Track Time Entertainment for the rigs. And just appreciate everybody, man. And you guys for broadcasting, too. You suck. How to suck at iRacing. Thank you so much for all you do. I didn't mean that.
All right, we're cutting his mic now.
You heard that? Hold on. We're gonna get Pujanowski over here. We're gonna put Andy over here. So I put Andy and Pujanowski. I'm putting Pujanowski in the TDR channel. Did you hear that?
Yes, I caught it. We're gonna mute. He will not get another interview.
Shout out to you guys for broadcasting. You suck.
That is hilarious.
Well, you know what? From now on, we only interview Auto Cruise.
You know what? I'm okay with that now. We could just put him as our in-car reporter permanently.
Yeah. Wreck happens. Nobody near him. Let's bring him in and ask him how he feels about it. End of the race. Who won? Doesn't matter. We're gonna ask Otto how he feels about it.
Exactly. Great plan.
Absolutely. Yeah, but in all seriousness, Doug, always a pleasure broadcasting with you. I'm glad we've been able to do this. We did a whole season. We're 2 races into season 2, and I feel even better than I did last season about not just what you and I are doing, but the competition we're going to see on the track coming up for race 3.
It really has gotten a lot tighter out there. I mean, obviously, Nowski Nation, they're still going to be a few points behind, but we saw this early last season, and it was TDR early, then it was Nowski, and then TDR, and then later in the season around race 6 is when Nowski started running away. But I think the competition level, they've really cranked it up. Not only the skill of the drivers, but the sportsmanship. We're seeing a lot more give and take out there. You heard Andy talking about all the give and take on the track, and I know Pudge feels the same way. He was happy, and I think we're in for something truly special here.
Yeah, you and I both recognized it about 3/4 of the way through season 1, the amount of respect that was given on track, and these first 2 races have been a demonstration of what we observed then. And I can only look forward to what we're going to see from here, because I think this is going to be some of the best racing on the iRacing surface.
I have to agree. It's going to be it's going to be an epic competition between both groups, and looking forward to seeing how it plays out, and hopefully this continues.
I think it'll I think we'll see a season 3 as long as season 2 works out.
Definitely so. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Well, Doug, always a pleasure. We got to pay the bills. Shout out to Tyler Daniels Racing on my side. Back charities. That's BACCcharities.com. Always a shout out to Team Pudjanowski and McConey Setup Shop. It's their setups, but your victories.
Awesome. And yeah, just a shout out to everybody out there, TDR, Nowski Nation, all the people that follow. Hit the share, like, subscribe. We are live on Facebook and Twitch for How to Suck at iRacing. We're live on the Back Sports, YouTube channel. And HTSAI has a YouTube channel as well. You can check that out at htsai.net. And hey, guess what? There is a broadcast or me in the car almost every single night. So there you go. You can tune in and watch some great racing, and definitely show up Tuesday night, because XCal's final race of the season, and a lot of special stuff coming for that as well.
Absolutely. What Doug Burns does over here at how do you do it? HTSAI?
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
HTSAI? Did I get it right? HTSAI?
You got it.
So what Doug does at HTSAI is what TDR does with leagues. He's broadcasting every night. We are running leagues every night. That's not the point, but I just wanted to bring up that mutual dedication to iRacing, the sport, what we are able to do behind it, and how we've teamed up from Team Pudge to HTSI and BACC. So he's not even with our media; he's on our YouTube channel. We are on his Facebook and Twitch. Like, what we've done here, it's a big thing.
Yeah,
it really is.
It really is, and I think it's helping both groups grow, and obviously has huge benefits to y'all's charity endeavors, the charity endeavors that I work on with all the different leagues that come through here, and so much going on, and it helps not only iRacing and the drivers, but it helps the world as a whole.
Yeah, I agree. And I think on that note, we should say goodbye to each other and make sure everybody's ready to tune in what, 2 weeks? 3 weeks? 2 weeks. So 2 Fridays from now. 1 Friday from now, I'll see you on the 2nd Friday.
All right, man.
Check your calendar.
Yes,
bookmark.
Definitely so. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you had as much fun as we did. Hope you laughed as much as we did, and I hope you enjoyed the Adam Ricky rally crossing in a cup race.
It was the best. It was better than McCann's.
It was. Y'all, everybody have a great night.